Yes, my best friend slept with two of my boyfriends and dated them behind my back. And I found out about both of them in really fucked up ways. So if you're interested in finding out how this happened to me, go ahead and keep on watching. Okay, so this girl and I were friends all the way through high school until a few years after college, and then we had a little bit of a not, like, we were not friends for a while, and then we were friends again. And this is why. So, well, not all the reasons why, but a big chunk of the reason why. So on my birthday, my ex-boyfriend from high school, the one that I remained friends with, that was like really, really cool with me, he called me and we had like a 3-hour conversation, and really it was just like, it was like a good, healthy conversation. I went to NAU. It just ended up staying in Flagstaff, and I was just freaking cold and miserable, and like I just hated it. Yeah, we just were hanging out in my ex's apartment. I remember because we hated the dorms. Like, we were like those freshmen that were like, we don't need to be at the dorms. Anyways, at the end of the conversation, back to the point, to the end of the conversation with my ex, he says, oh, I think it's really cool that you're cool with me and so-and-so. And I'm not going to say her name because people who know me know, and I'm not going to air her out. And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, oh, because, we've been hanging out. I was like, oh, that's cool. He's like, yeah. He's like, I think it's really cool that you're cool with it. And I was like, cool with you guys being friends? And he was like, I thought she talked to you. Like, she told me she talked to you. And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, man, she's such a liar. And I was like, what are you talking about? And then he told me that they had been like hooking up, and they were like, not like in a relationship, but like they were talking. I hate that term, but they were basically like dating each other. And mind you, this is supposed to be like my best friend, at this point, because like my best friend had already died, and this was like I couldn't even believe it, because I already am supposed to know everything about her, and I thought I knew, like, and when you know things about your friends, and I hate to do this, you got a hoe friend, and we all have hoe friends. This is my hoe friend. And I knew about all the guys she was hooking up with. I knew about all the guys she was talking. Always show me like everything, and like we used to like forward each other MySpace messages, and like we were so scandalous about like just talking shit about guys, and like I just knew everything that she was up to. And I was always a relationship girl. Like, I always had a boyfriend, and I'm like loyal to a fault, like literally loyal to a fault. So like I would be like vicariously living through her escapades, you know what I mean? And I would totally encourage her. I'm like, because I'm a feminist first, and I would always be like, you do whatever you want with your body, like, you know what, do you, girl. And I encouraged her all the time. Like, I always wanted her to just live her best life, and didn't feel like she needed to be loyal to anyone. It was cool because it was like she never really like had a boyfriend. She just kind of did her thing. And so I totally supported her through that. Whatever. I never judged her because she's my friend. And here I am listening to him tell me about them, and I'm thinking about all her other guys that she's been telling me about, and I'm like, is she lying? Like, like you just start to second guess yourself. And so I was just like, oh my gosh, I just got so fucking mad. And then on my birthday, of all the days to find out that you're dating like my ex, that's like one of my really good friends, not just like an ex that I don't care about. Like, when you go to school in a small town, like, and there's only a handful of people that are dateable. And so when I found out, I was just so mad, because this was like somebody who was important to me, decided to remain friends with, which I don't do. So it was just like a very big deal to me. It was very upsetting. So flash forward to after college. I was living down in Phoenix. Then her and I hadn't talked in like a year, because I was just so pissed. We ran with mutual people, and at this point she was transitioning to be gay. She was like coming out, but she was still having sex with guys, and like when it was like I was hearing all these rumors, and she's got such a bad reputation. It's like easy to believe, but because she was my friend, even though we weren't still friends, I was on this like, I'm not spreading her drama. I'm not gonna talk shit about her. And it's just like girl code. You just don't, even though you're not friends, there's no positive in airing somebody out. Like there's no reason to. That's why I'm not attaching no names or adding anybody, because there's no reason for it. She moved to Phoenix. She was around all the time. And I was just like, man, my friend, if I don't like you, I will completely be all up in your space and pretend like you don't exist, because I'm not gonna let your like energy, what you comes out your mouth, like affect me when I'm around my friends. So I just put myself in a situation where like no matter where we were cool, but we did not talk. And a couple of my friends were just like, it's uncomfortable. Like, you guys used to be so close. Like, it's over some guy. You don't even want him. She's stupid. She likes girls now. Like, let it go. So I was like, all right, cool, whatever. She likes girls. She can't do it to me again because she likes girls. So, whatever. It didn't mean anything anyways because she's gay. So I totally forgave her. Like, I just was like, forgive and forget. Like, not even like forgive and remember, forgive and fucking forget. Like, I was trying to not remember that shit because it hurt me so bad. So we moved on from it. We even lived together, and then we didn't, and we were still really young, and we were doing everything together. It's literally a moment in our lives where we all lived on the same street. It was so ridiculous. So this was, mind you, years after me and my college ex broke up. So me and this person decided to go up to Flagstaff to visit my friend Michelle, who was my college roommate for a short term like period, but we were like friends for a long time. Mind you, she was my friend the first time that I stopped talking to this person, so she knew the tea. Like, she was very privy to what the fuck was going on, and everything was chill because, like I said, we were friends again, forgive and forget, and Michelle knew that. So we smoked, we hung out. Well, Michelle's dumbass was like still cool with my ex from college, and he still lived up in Flagstaff at the time. And so she was like, oh, guess who's coming over? And I was like, who? And she was like, Facebook or some BS. And he wanted to like see me in person. So he came over, and he like smoked us out or whatever, and we hung out for a little bit. And then he like, I guess while he was there, he like followed her on Facebook or something like that, or like she friended him. I don't remember who friended who, but they're trifling, and they friended each other on Facebook. And I didn't know because she's gay, right? So like, why would I even be tripping or worried or even think that that would happen? Because I was trusting like a dumbass bitch. And so then a lot of time goes by. I mean, like, damn, like a year or two go by. Mind you, during this year, her and I are becoming closer. She's starting to fall in love with her friend, this girl, like, that she's been friends with for years. And the irony is that my roommate at the time was a really good friend of mine still. She hates this girl's girlfriend. Like, and I always knew she was right, you know, because this girl is like so insecure and like super, she like projects all her shit onto everyone. And that's why I didn't like her in a relationship with my friend, because I didn't like what it did to my friend. I didn't like their relationship. I didn't like their dynamic. And so when my roommate told me that she never, because we all went to high school together, that she never liked that girl, so I should have known that something was wrong with her. But I didn't really pick up on it until later. But anyways, they're dating. This girl almost dies, right? Her girlfriend, my ex-friend's girlfriend, almost dies. Has to go to California for this, like, so she didn't really tell me much, like, details. I was there for her. So, like, when she needed to cry or when she would be frustrated or, like, when things were going on, with the health, like the health issues were going on. I was there for her, but she never really talked to me about the details of the health issues. She would tell me like how serious it is, like, oh my god, you know, she's like not really waking up. She's not in a coma, but she's like not waking up every day. Like she's so out of it. They have her on morphine, stuff like that. She would tell me all that stuff. And then she was like getting super close to the mom. We were friends, right? But I didn't like her girlfriend. So she wouldn't really talk to me about her girlfriend. She just talked to me about herself around all the shit. The irony is that she comes home from California because she's going back and forth from here to going back and forth to Tucson. She would go back and forth between California and Arizona because she was trying to like just, she had all these things she was juggling. And so she was in town and she wanted to spend some time with me. So she came over to my house and we did each other's nails. We probably did something to our hair. We hung out, we watched TV, we do whatever it is that girls do, smoked weed, like we just had a good time. It was like a day where I didn't have to work. And at the time, my boyfriend at the time had gotten off work. He worked like till like 1 or 2 in the morning. I remember she was like, well, I'm just gonna stay with you here because at the time I didn't have a car. I had a car, but it was broke down. She was like, I'll just stay with you, and then when he gets off, I'll just take you over to his house because I just wanted to like go spend the night with him or whatever. And I was like, all right, cool. I was like, we just have to stay up because I know as soon as I get there, we're just gonna go to sleep because it would be like 2 in the morning. He'd just get off work, so he's just gonna go to bed. So she was like, okay. So we like forced ourselves to stay up. Now, mind you, she got to my house probably like 10 o'clock in the morning, like 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning. And we spent like our whole fucking day together. We were up all night. So I know she was tired, but we were together for a long ass time, the whole day. Now, she drops me off at my ex's house. I go to bed. I got there at like 2 something, and literally I went to bed. I wake up the next morning at like 8 because I'm one of those, like I should wake up. And when I checked my phone, I had like paragraphs from her. And it's so fucking foul because we'd spent like a whole fucking day together, like almost like 16 hours together. And she could not say to me any of these things when she saw me in person, but had the audacity to text them to me. The text messages came in at like 2:45, and her house is probably like 30 minutes from my ex's house. I got home and she sent these texts to me and went to sleep, and I didn't get them until I woke up. And they were just paragraphs telling me how she was dating my ex from college, how he added her, she added him on Facebook, I don't remember, but that they started off just being cool, and how they loved me and it was all about me. And then all of a sudden he started to get at her and she started to visit him. This motherfucker lives in California. He lives in inland, like San Bernardino, California. And her girlfriend was, I think, in San Diego or fucking LA or some shit. I don't know. She was in some part of Southern California for her treatments. And so this bitch would drive from Arizona to San Bernardino to see him, and then to wherever the fuck her girlfriend was to go see her. And she told me all this in the text messages. And she sent these text messages to me while I was asleep with my boyfriend. Who does that? Like, who does that? I woke up and I read those messages and I got so damn mad. Oh my God, I was so mad. And I remember thinking, like, I can't even be mad right now. Like, because, you know, I was laying right next to my boyfriend. So it was like one of those things where it was like, fuck. Like, I didn't want him to think that I was mad because I wanted my ex. I was just mad because of the betrayal. And like, anybody who knows me knows that that whole processing didn't last very long. Like, I was like, the longer I laid there and thought about it, the madder I got. And I just remember getting up and like starting to get ready for the day and just being like pissed off, and he was just like, what's wrong? And I kept like putting it off because I didn't want to tell him like why I was so mad, but then I had to. And I remember being like, oh, she's such a fucking bitch. And then him and I got in a fight because he was like, why do you care so much? And I was like, it's not about him. I was like, it's about her. It's about her disloyalty. It was about the fact that, you know, we had spent all day together and she could have just told me. Like, if it really didn't mean anything and she really, like, the things that she was saying in her messages was like she loved him, but she was conflicted because she loved her girlfriend and she felt like a bad person and she was going to cut him off, and she just wanted to tell me because he threatened to tell me, and like all this stuff. And I was just like, so you're only telling me because you're going to get caught, right? You only feel bad because your girlfriend's going to die. So you think, because she didn't die, she lived. It's just crazy. Like, I still to this day don't even know if her girlfriend knows. So, but it's not like they are going to watch my videos because they don't care about me. But it was just one of those things. It's like, I can't even believe that you had the audacity to do that to me. Of all the people, like, I was so loyal for her. Like, I used to, like, get girls to not fight her. She has no idea, like, how many times. So crazy. Because I remember my mom told me, if somebody will do something in front of you, especially if they'll do something in front of you to someone, they will do that to you. And loyalty is rare. And I remember, like, my mom saying that to me, I'd be like, okay. And, like, throughout my life, that is so true. Like, people are so scandalous, and they will do whatever it is that they want to do to get whatever it is that they want to get. Loyalty is rare. And so I learned that firsthand from a friend, that she was going to do and get whatever she wanted whenever she wanted. And she slept with him and had a whole relationship with him. And then he caused a whole bunch of problems in her life. And they went back and forth for like a couple of years. Her and I were not friends during that time. And then I remember, I guess after she was completely done with him or whatever, he wrote me on Facebook and told me that the only reason that he ever even dealt with her was just to make me jealous. It was just really horrible. And I remember just like blocking him and her. Yeah. And then my dumbass became her friend again. And then she screwed me over again. And now we'll never be friends because she's the worst. Moral of the story is, people show you exactly who they are. Do not forgive and forget. You can forgive and move on, but don't forgive and forget. I don't know who even told me, forgive and forget. Like, it was probably one of my dumbass friends that I'm not friends with anymore. But yeah, story on how my best friend dated and slept with 2 of my exes. Thank you so much for watching my video. This is my first story time. It's kind of juicy. Let me know in the comments below if this has ever happened to you, or a friend of yours, or just somebody you know. If you think I could have handled it differently, how you would have handled it, I don't know, just let me know. The story still blows my mind. It's crazy to me that it even happened. But yeah, thanks so much for watching.